Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. The time's 4 o'clock, 9th of January, 2024. I'm Steve McShane, Pro Tem. I'll be driving today. We'll go ahead and call this meeting of the Salinas City Council to order. I want to thank everybody in attendance and certainly those of you that are watching via Zoom as we encourage engagement. We'll go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance, if we will.
The Spanish translation.
Oh, well, then I guess we better mention that. So for those of you that need it, I just want to mention that this meeting is available in Spanish for members of the public in attendance and on Zoom. Translation devices can be obtained in the foyer. City Clerk.
Thank you. Esta reunión está disponible en español para los miembros del público y en Zoom. Las unidades de traducción se pueden obtener en la entrada de la rotonda.
All right. Future Mayor Pro Tem Osornio, will you lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk?
Just a few announcements for the general public and anyone listening to the meeting on Zoom and on YouTube. ID number 24-003, the City Council Committees and Regional Board Appointments item has been continued to January 23rd, 2024. Item ID number 23-699 on the consent agenda, California Senate Bill 329, City Council compensation has also been continued to January 23rd and will not be heard today.
Thank you. And just a word on the mayor. She's not here. She's ill and is out on doctor's orders, so hope she feels better. We will be going into closed session. City Attorney, do you want to comment that?
Thank you. I'll go ahead and proceed with roll call with Mayor Craig absent today. So Councilmember Barrera?
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Absent. Councilmember Osornio?
Here.
Councilmember Rocha?
Here.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem McShane?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. We will be going into closed session. And before we take public comment on that, City Attorney, do you want to comment on what's...
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We just have 3 matters on closed session this evening: labor negotiations, 2 anticipated litigation matters, and 1 existing litigation matter.
Okay. Thank you. So at this time, we'll take public comment on those 3 items only. State your name, and we'll give you a couple minutes.
Jacob Sandoval. I'm actually just requesting if you guys can make an exception. We have a lady here who needs to make public comments on an item not on closed session, but she has to go to Monterey. So if you guys could allow her to make public comments now. It really is at your discretion. I'm on the school board, and we do it all the time whenever we have somebody that needs to fit it. But
I'm okay with that. Or is it Chris? It's your call. It's my call. I'm fine with that. If there's somebody from, who's the exception, or yeah, if you could just state your name and welcome. We'll give you 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Kendra Cabrera, and I'm reading an email on behalf of Ms. Asia Guillory and the Salinas Juneteenth Celebration Association. Dear City Council and Mayor Pro Tem Steve McShane, and Mayor Craig, who's not here. On behalf of the Salinas Juneteenth Celebration Association, we would like to share appreciation for the Community Public Arts Grant and the support of Joe Panzer from the Old Town Salinas Foundation and Jory Lammy from the West Coast Farmers Market Association, and allowing us to host Kwanzaa Revival Saturday, December 30th at the Salinas Old Town Farmers Market. Our performers, Kumba, enlightened the crowd as they drummed and danced in celebration of the first fruits of harvest that African Americans have adopted to honor our Pan-African roots. Ms. Sherilyn Halsey Robinson, a former Hartnell graduate and leader of the Eastern Stars, shared history and symbolism of the 7 Kwanzaa principles, and our team was able to provide arts and crafts activities, fresh produce, cultural recipes, and a raffle for those who attended. Our group will continue celebrating Black and African American culture and arts and educating our community throughout the year in Salinas. On February 10th, the next Salinas Juneteenth Celebration Association event will be at El Gabilan Library to honor the life and legacy of Carter G. Woodson, a self-taught historian and creator of Negro History Week. We look forward to continued partnership in alliance with the City of Salinas, and we thank you again for your support of the Salinas Juneteenth Celebration Association.
Great,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much. We'll adjourn to closed session and be back in 1 hour. Are reconvening from closed session. City Attorney, any reportable action?
Nothing to report out.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, the mayor, as was said earlier, is out ill under doctor's orders, so I'm going to do my best to drive us. And our very next item is public comment. So we'll entertain items that are not on the agenda. Any comments that the public has? We'll have you line up. If you could state your name, that'd be nice, and we'll give you 2 minutes. So have at it. 2 or 3? 2. That's the same. Yeah. Okay.
So I emailed everybody a packet, and I also created copies, which I left outside the door in case anybody wants a copy. Recently at city council meetings and also online and through social media and the news, they've made comments that the city police department funding has been cut or decreased. So I created a chart that shows that the police budget, and this is not a for it or against it, but just the reality of the facts, has never been cut in over 9 years. It's actually increased every year, right? So just to clear up the misinformation out there that the current city council has reduced the police funding, that has not been the case. In fact, the largest percent increases that the police has had have actually been in the last 2 years. Prior to that, if you look at the chart I created, the percentages by the previous city council would only go about 0.5% or 1%. And in the last 2 years, it went up 12%. You know, and I respect our police and we need police, but just wanted to kind of clear up the air. And also I created packets for in case anybody wants to actually see the information. And all the documentation is from the budgets that can be found on the city website. So anybody else that wants to do any type of fact checking, they can also do that as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Your name, if it's possible. 2 minutes.
Olga Reina, District 4, and good evening, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem. My name is Olga Reina. I would live in District 4, and in District 4, we're seeing our sidewalks get fixed up, and it's been a long time coming. So I really want to thank you for the work that the City Council has done on that. At the same time, I'd like to ask you to translate the agenda a little bit more timely, because some of our members don't get the agenda. They don't see what's important in the agenda till it's already there. And so it's important to get it out in a timely manner for all of us. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Great, thank you, Olga.
Hola,
Ay,
buenas
traducción.
tardes.
Sí, un momentito para traducción. Ok, bienvenidos.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Francisca Vázquez. Yo soy miembro de Salina, vivo en el Distrito 5. Yo estoy aquí para una respuesta sobre la ordenanza de la vivienda. Yo estoy batallando, soy madre de 4 hijos y ya llevo 2 meses que no estoy trabajando. Ahorita estoy pagando $3,500 cada mes. Y yo no puedo pagar esto, estoy batallando mucho en eso y por eso estoy aquí ahora. Quiero esa respuesta y espero que usted nos apoye, que nos dé la situación que estamos viviendo aquí, Salina, porque muchos dicen que vive unos mejor, pero nosotros no estamos viviendo mejor, no tenemos trabajo, tenemos que esperar otros 2 meses más para que empiece el trabajo y queremos esa respuesta y muchas gracias.
Good afternoon. My name is Francisca Vasquez, and I live here in Salinas. I am a member of District 5, and I'm here because I want an answer about the housing ordinance. I'm a mother of 4 children. I haven't been working for the last 2 months. I have to pay $3,500 in rent, and I really don't have that money. It's really difficult. I've been struggling. So I'm here because I need an answer. I need your support. I'm here because a lot of people say that but we live here well, we live here better, but it's not true. We don't have any jobs, and we still have to wait 2 more months for the season to start.
Okay. Gracias.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem. Happy New Year to everyone. Just wanted to extend appreciation for the City of Salinas for all the efforts in the ongoing, development of our parks. Making sure that our residents are able to enjoy the parks that as we all know, has been long overdue. Just to meet the need for cultivating that common space for our residents, and also to acknowledge, as we've noticed, some of our roads are getting some of those improvements, but we still know that a lot of our roads, right, need a lot more. And I'm only here to not just to remind you of what we need, but also just to really just extend that gratitude to you and the representatives of the city, and also to make sure that how the narrative is shaped around here. Our mainstream local media outlets, a lot of our folks, they get that information from them, and and just want to give it up to our neighbor over here, Mr. Sandoval, for helping us get a more clear understanding of how our city budgets operate and how it pertains to each of our departments, because the dissemination of information for our residents is so key, and their understanding and their knowledge of how to further engage, and to just the understanding and the knowledge of what it means to be a resident here in Salinas is so valuable. So thank you very much.
Buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Nidia Soto. Estoy aquí para darles las gracias por el trabajo que hicieron en equipo como concejales y alcaldesa que no está presente aquí en el año pasado, 2023. Y para hacer reseña a lo que dijeron algunas personas ahorita, la falta de una ordenanza en el alquiler para la comunidad que está pasando por muchas necesidades, desalojos injustos, falta de trabajo, como la compañera acá, Francisca, lo mencionó, personas que están trabajando en el campo, que ahorita están desempleados, ¿verdad? Y no pueden, o les dificulta más pagar una vivienda. Entonces yo les pido en consideración que pues hagan lo posible para traer de nuevo para atrás el tema a tratar, que es un control de alquiler, que es muy necesario para nuestra comunidad aquí en Salinas. Y también las agendas, la traducción de agendas, es necesario que esté a tiempo para el involucramiento de la comunidad. Siempre o todo el tiempo ha estado casi al último minuto, y entonces eso limita e impide la comunicación y demuestra el interés de la comunidad de presentarse aquí o por vía Zoom, como ellos sea posible, debido también al alto costo de vivienda. Están tratando de sobrevivir, buscando trabajo en una y otra manera. Entonces es importante de que las agendas estén disponibles con el mejor tiempo posible para que la comunidad pueda observar los puntos de mayor interés para poder participar. Gracias.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Nidia Soto. And first of all, I want to thank you for all the work that the council members did with their mayor for the year 2023. And I also want to summarize what my other peers have said. We really need a rental control ordinance. The community is having a lot of difficulty paying rent. Some of them are not working. Some field workers are not working right now. There's a lot of unfair evictions. and it's hard to pay homes. So we really need, as soon as possible, a rent control ordinance for the people that live here in Salinas. And another thing that we need is that we need the agendas translated ahead of time so we can have more community involvement. They're translated, but they're translated almost last minute, so that does not allow the community to participate as much. We need to know what's going to happen in the city council meeting so the community can show interest and can see the items that are going to be seen so they can participate in Zoom. It is hard for them. Housing cost is really high. They're trying to survive. So it is important to have the agendas translated ahead of time so there's more community involvement. Thank you.
Good evening. Nice to see you all. I'm Steve Lundeen, pastor at First United Methodist Church down the street. I share with you this quote: "I have the audacity to believe that people everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education and culture for their minds, and dignity, equality, and freedom for their spirits." That was spoken by Dr. Martin Luther King, whose life we celebrate on Monday, a national holiday. And just want to call to your attention that we'll be having our annual celebration right here on Monday. We'll do a walk around the community around 10 o'clock. We'll be in here to share quotes and words and songs, and hope to see many of you here and many of you behind me as well and on the TV. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening. I'm Mike. Just wanted to read a couple things. Such a kind of a little bit of a shock, maybe it wasn't to everyone else, about Felice resigning. And I see, it seems to be a struggle for our city to hold on to high-quality individuals to run our city. We had a debacle with our city manager there. He quit and then kind of retracted and then got fired. And in a time when we're looking to possibly increase wages here, there's a lot of failure. Go to your boss after you fail, and I want a raise. Pay me for a volunteer position that's elected. And I also did want to state, actually, the bow tie, Mr. Pia. Thank God we have you to step in and have some real city leadership that can carry us through this time. So that's good. And Mr. Callahan out there, he wears bow ties. I like how it's starting to move down the line here. It's a good standard. But really what I was really here for tonight is I wanted to thank Andrew up here for his leadership and his management of the Vallarta relationship there and bringing them here to a successful on-time opening for such a great business. And it seems to be flourishing and revitalize that area. Thank you for your leadership, Andrew, and getting that put together. And I can't wait to be driving down 101 and see those pylons lit with a beautiful lit Vallarta sign. Those pylons there, beautiful sign there. I can't wait to see that happen. So hopefully they're able to get that lit up here soon. So thank you so much. You gentlemen look great, and Happy New Year.
Thank you very much.
Good evening and happy Richard Nixon's birthday. My name is Eric Peterson, and it isn't often that I wholeheartedly agree with our mayor, but her comments about Chief Felice in the Herald today, as quoted, basically echo mine. And I think we owe Chief Felice a big thank you for the years he spent here as he moves on to what's probably a far easier job. And East Bay Regional Parks District is very well run, and their parks are really good. And we do have people around here who would make a good replacement for him, though. I'd like to take it a step further and just reiterate what I said a few meetings ago. And for city manager, we've got the best person we can get up there on the dais already, Jim Pia. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else? Okay, we'll go online, Patty, to Zoom to see if anybody's...
So if there's anyone on Zoom that would like to make a comment, use the raise hand feature, and we'll allow speaking rights. No comments on Zoom, Mayor Pro Tem McShane.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to our first item, which is a public hearing, item 24001, Plan Unit Development Permit 2022-001, Second Amendment to Planned Unit Development Permit 2014-001, Northridge Mall Shopping Center at 1700 North Main Street in the Commercial Retail Zoning District. Tom Wiles, good to see you.
Nice seeing you,
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem. Council members, the proposal is Planning Unit Development Permit 2022-01, which is a second amendment to Planning Unit Development Permit 2014-01 or PUD 2014-01. The proposal is to add a 1.651 acre building pad, construct a 3,501 square foot restaurant with a drive-through, outdoor seating, 41 off-street parking spaces, and an increase in sign area located at the Northridge Shopping Mall Shopping Center at 1700 North Main Street in the Commercial Retail Zoning District. Okay. The applicant is Kimberly Horn on behalf of Raising Cane's. The property is owned by Ethan Conrad Properties. As stated, is located at 1700 North Main Street. It's a second amendment to the PUD 2014-01. It would add a sixth building pad. There's 5 currently along North Main Street, and then 1 on the western portion of the shopping center site. This would be a 1.651 acre site of the property. The proposal is to construct a 3,501 square foot restaurant, the Raising Cane's, with drive-through, outdoor seating, 41 off-street parking spaces, and an increase in sign area. With the parking, the project will have 5,288 off-street parking spaces, which exceeds the minimum required 5,229 spaces as per the PUD. It is zoned commercial retail, CR district, and commercial and residential uses are adjacent to the project site. The proposed building is 23 feet and 6 inches in height. It has an exterior stucco wood and metal paneling with a stone base, which pretty much matches those of the existing restaurants such as Chick-fil-A and Panera Bread. As discussed later, the proposed number 1 sign cannot be approved because it's located above the roof, and that is something that will be worked on. The restaurant with the drive-through, it's an amendment, requires the amendment to the PUD. That was 2004-01. The proposed use complies with the findings for approval of a plan unit development permit. The drive-through exceeds the minimum 5 car queue as required by the zoning code amendment, or zoning code, excuse me. The 9-foot, 1-inch high trash enclosure and a 12-foot high standalone canopy are included with the project. Parking lot landscaping proposes 13 trees, which exceeds the minimum required 8 trees, and 22.9% of the project site will be landscape, which exceeds the minimum required 10%. And that is part of the justification for alternative means of compliance for landscaping for the proposed site, since it does have enhanced landscaping. Signs, the applicant originally proposed 363.54 square feet of sign area, 70 square foot logo, and 293.454 square feet of artwork signs. Artwork is considered signage as per the zoning code. Maximum allowed sign area is 149.58 square feet as per the zoning code. Staff recommends, and the applicant is pretty much supported, is that 237.08 square feet of sign area, which is 87.6 square feet over the maximum allowed. It's a 58.6 increase versus 143 proposed increase. This is consistent with the proposed round one sign, which was for a bowling pin sign in front of the proposed round one commercial recreation and entertainment facility near the on the eastern portion of the mall, and is pretty much generous given the difference between the building square footage of round one compared to Raising Cane's. An administrative sign permit consistent with the amendment to the PUD will be required, and as per the PUD amendment, no signs will be required above the roof sign, above the roof line, and therefore, let's see our finals. Recommendation, the Planning Commission recommended on December the 6th, 2023, that the City Council approved the planning and development permit application, the PUD amendment application. Staff recommends that the City Council find the project exempt from this California Environmental Quality Act for 15332, which is infill development projects, because the lease area is less than 5 acres and complies with the other requirements of the CEQA. And staff also recommends approval of the PUD amendment because it complies with the requirements of the General Plan and Zoning Code. The site was noticed, posted and mailed on December 15th and published in the Monterey Herald on December the 21st. Are there any questions to staff at this time?
Thank you, Tom. We'll start with council member questions to our left. Council member Sandoval.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't know that artwork is also considered signage.
Signage, because a lot of the artwork that they have kind of has helped to promote their products. It's the color, a lot of it is, deals with their corporate branding, and so it was considered as part of the signage because it helps with their product and with their operations. So that's why we considered the artwork as part of the signage.
Okay, and would this same kind of guideline affect other businesses? Because I know, like, for example, Vallarta Market wants to do a mural. So,
if the mural cannot be considered as part of signage, like if it's totally different, it's like a lot of the artwork. Let me see if I can get some of the kind of like with the color of the artwork that's proposed. Let me see.
Give us a moment, Tom. We got to display the PowerPoint.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of it's, well, let me see. It's one of the signs like the dog, the Raising Cane's, that's considered, it's kind of signs because it has the same logo colors, the same corporate colors as the corporation. And it's pretty much unique to the Raising Cane. So that's why we consider it artwork.
Okay.
And it's on a case-by-case basis. So.
Just because, we're encouraging art in the city of Salinas, I understand this is a little bit of a mixed art, branding. So I just wanted to make sure that if other businesses want to do art, they understand the guidelines.
Yeah, we try to be flexible and comply with the code, but also, and we're allowing them extra sign area as we did with round one with the bowling pin sign.
Okay, those are all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Sandoval. Councilmember Rocha, any questions for Mr. Wiles?
Thank you. I remember when this discussion first came before us, it was in 2022, and there was a real concern over the drive-through component of that particular development and the residential impacts it would have on that street. Was there a discussion to mitigate those impacts, or how was that taken into consideration?
Well, there was a traffic analysis that was done by Andrew Easterling with the traffic engineering. He's no longer with the city, but there was a report done by Kimberly Horn in May of this year, and it was found that the anticipated queue is 25 vehicles, which would be adequate drive-through capacity for the proposed use. So it was found that the proposed queuing would be within the city standards and would not have an impact on the surrounding neighborhood.
Is there a concern over the fact that Chick-fil-A is going to be not too far from it, and that has its own traffic issues? or is that not really relevant? To
It's far enough away for the study that there wouldn't be any conflict with that, 'cause
Understood.
it's further up toward the center of the shopping center.
Okay, those are all my questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to my right. We'll start with Councilmember Osonio.
I'll reserve for comment.
Okay, Councilmember Barrera.
No questions.
Okay, no questions here. So we'll go to the public for public comment on this item. Come on up, and we'd love to give you 2 minutes. We'd also welcome the applicant if there's, okay, if that's appropriate. Okay, sure.
Good evening. I realize I'm a little out of my element here as far as subject matter, but since this is within walking distance of where I live, I decided to do a little research. And I called my daughter. And my daughter has been to the locations in Oakland and Davis and gave an enthusiastic endorsement of this. So you've cracked the difficult nut to crack there already. One caution is I realize there's issues in Oakland that we don't have here, but the drive-through at Oakland is so long sometimes that it puts In-N-Out Burger to shame. So maybe 12 spaces isn't quite enough. I do have a question because I know the signal at Cherokee and Maine, there was no notification to the homeowners association where I live. And I'm just would like to know, if at all possible, whether the homeowners association of Northgate Village was notified on this, as since it's within a few feet, it should be required. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I believe, from what I've understood, I've seen of the other Raising Cane's, they have creative art designs that pertain specifically to the community. I understand that there was a celebrity named Post Malone who I feel like had sponsored one and designed his own type of Raising Cane's. And so just the question comes up, if intentionality is considered around the design, if Raising Cane's. I've never been to one, but apparently if it's something about chicken fingers and we see fish and a dog on the emblem, is that something that might just want to be taken into consideration and maybe localizing the design a little bit more? Thank you.
Great. Thank you for that feedback, commentary. Sure.
Hi, good evening. Jose Guerra. I just want to say it's a great idea. You bring more good stuff like that to Salinas. You know, better food, better variety is good. Let's build something there in Montebella. Let's build some restaurants down there for us too, guys. You know, we like to eat too. It's just it's a hike to get down on the other side of town. You know, it's crowded and, you know, I'm being real. We've got a lot of land out there. Let's talk to some of these farmers, you know, give them some of that land and build something nice out there. In-N-Out be nice over there. Mm-hmm. Hey, there's 4 ways to get in and out there in Montebella. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great day.
Thank you. Any other public comment from within? Oh, good. We have a representative of the applicant.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and members of the council. My name is Lester Tucker. I'm with Raising Cane's. Thanks for the opportunity to be here, and Happy New Year to you all. I just want to quickly thank staff for working very hard over the last number of months on this project. There's a lot of stuff that happens that has to do with zoning law and the state of California and CEQA that they take a lot of work to get done, and so I don't want that to be missed with our staff here, and especially with the leadership of Lisa Brinton, who helped us get over the hurdle at the end. So thank you to her. We're thrilled to be in town. I've shared with each of you a lot of information. I've met lots of people and talked about it, so I don't want to belabor the point, but we are enthusiastic about the property. We're going to be a great corporate citizen. And if we would like to discuss the signage, I worked closely with staff, and we've come up with a solution to the signage that Raising Cane's is happy with, and we think the city will be happy with as well. And so we would urge you tonight to approve the right project in the right location with the right design and start the new year off with a new project. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else in the auditorium wishing to comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll go to Zoom. Patricia?
Anyone on Zoom wish to make a comment on this item? No comments.
Thank you. We'll bring it back to the council for action. I'll start to my left. Any comments and maybe a motion?
Sure, yeah. I'm glad the project's coming to District 5. I think it's going to do well there. I didn't see the fish, which is not really Salinas thing, so maybe, you can reconsider that. I know it's not going to hold up an approval or anything, but I'm excited for the community. I think it'll be a big success. I've also visited your location in Oakland as well. My kids loved it. They made me drive 25 minutes out of our way to go. And actually, I got a call from my wife today if that's coming. So I said, well, we're going to be discussing it tonight. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second. Okay, moved and seconded. Thank you. Councilmember Rocha?
Thank you. Happy to support this item. I've had the opportunity to eat Raising Cane's several times, and I've been in Southern California. And I hear about it all the time from constituents of mine who are asking me, when are we going to get a Raising Cane's? When are we going to get a Raising Cane's? And so it's definitely been something that our community's wanted for a while now. And so happy to support the item. And thank you for your collaborative approach on this. It's been a discussion that we've had for several years now. It started off in 2022. And so happy to be at this point now and to support it. So thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to my right. We'll start with Councilmember Osornio. Comments?
Yes, again, thank you. Obviously, we would love, like some of public comment today, have a lot of different options for folks to be able to choose from. Also, I do appreciate all of the communication and making sure that you're not only discussing these things with city staff, but there's been emails that have been to us as well, and it puts things in a perspective. One of the things I'll never forget is I really just want to commend staff for doing the best job that they possibly can. I remember hearing that in other cities there's like a 6 to 8 month process of how long it kind of takes for some of these permits to get approved, and here it's been almost double that. So just thank you for your patience and continuing to work with city staff, and I really appreciate that.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Ferreira?
Thank you, sir. There's no doubt this is good for a new year, and welcome to our community. I do want to thank Ms. Lisa Brinton for the heavy lift. These aren't easy, but I think we are making improvements, hopefully. Mr. Wiles, thank you for your work. And I also want to thank the Planning Commission. There's a group of hardworking volunteers for the city that put in a lot of time. There was some good energy at the Planning Commission, and sometimes they make it a little bit easier for City Council to make this approval. So thank you and good work.
Yeah, I'll just applaud the applicant. This was by the book. You did your homework. You made contact with, or attempted contact with every planning commissioner, every council member. You really worked well with staff. You were patient with staff. Thank you. And for the public, it's happening at Northridge Mall. This is like our single largest generator of sales tax. And going back to when Starwood bought the mall, they've dumped tens of millions of dollars into our mall and the mall in Billings, Montana. The other 60 malls in their portfolio didn't get anything. Flooring, lighting, landscaping, it's just happening. So those 6 pads are rocking. The Rosca de Rey last weekend, it's awesome. The events, so if you haven't been to Northridge Mall lately, I hope to see you there. With that, we'll call the vote.
Thank you. Motion made by Councilmember Sandoval, second by Councilmember Osornio. Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McShane?
Yeah.
Motion passes.
That was good. Thank you very much. We'll move on to our next consideration item, 24002 Quarterly General Plan Update. Jonathan Moore, Senior Planner. Nice to see you.
Good to see you all as well. Happy New Year. Got to get used to being on this side of the auditorium again. Welcome back, everyone. Excited to give you a quick update on our progress. was really one of our biggest items we talked to you in December about, which was our housing element adoption and submittal. So that was a big undertaking last quarter. We did send that into HCD after adoption on December 12th. They're in the middle of their 60-day comment period, about a month in now. And just a reminder that we have the statutory certification deadline of April 15th. So if they do come back with more comments, we'll come back around, but hopefully we'll hear good news in the next month. Besides the housing element review, we've also been working, or housing element submittal, we've also been working with our steering committee to review the more than 250 policies, goals, and actions that will make up the heart of our comprehensive general plan update. So this all comes from the engagement we've been doing since 2021, from all the recent planning efforts, and from our existing documents. It's kind of that big blend, that big lift to streamline and elevate what we can to make it as usable as possible while still remaining comprehensive. We're incorporating their recommendations before we go out this year for broader public review. We also took more of our climate action plan engagement to the people, doing 7 pop-ups, including at the farmers market, movie nights, Ciclovia, of course, and we also got to give some presentations to North Salinas High School students, obviously a demographic that we're very impacted by this topic, so that was exciting. Shout out to our community outreach assistant Donovan for doing that, and we've done also an online survey, and we're going to keep that engagement rolling in this year as well. We're going to start the year with more topic-specific things, focusing on those areas of land use change, transportation, climate action planning, before getting into more bigger picture general plan open house stuff in the spring and summer. We're also wanting to meet with City Council and Planning Commission for more study sessions. So one of our questions out to you all, and doesn't have to be answered right at this moment, is what topics are most critical to the council, to the commissions, that we can bring back into a deeper dive on. You know, it's so broad that you can't review every line, every action, but we want to make sure we hit those topics that are critical to you, so when we go to actually bring forward a general plan for adoption, we're all on the same page and ready to move forward. This is a more detailed breakdown of some of our timeline. So again, focusing early on that targeted topic outreach, and we're going to do a transportation open house February 1st, which kind of combines our circulation element with active transportation plan and streetscape master plan. These are separate but very connected planning processes that need to align with each other, and it's easier to kind of get everyone in the room at once rather than try to do different things for that. We'll also be going out doing more of that focused engagement for the land use areas of change, the canvassing emails. We've identified a lot of those areas and gotten property information, so we're trying to make multiple points of contact with those folks to start setting that up. In March and April, Climate Action Plan webinar, we'll be coming back to City Council with the General Plan Annual Progress Report. So that's one of those state mandated reports, as well as the Housing Element Annual Report, which our Housing Division will bring. That would be a good time for one of those study sessions. And we're also trying to complete an internal draft general plan by the end of March, so we can start reviewing that and get that out to the public by June. That would be a big milestone, and the draft environmental impact report about that and the climate action plan would trail probably to August, because a lot of that analysis has to be done based on the general plan, so firming that up is kind of a prerequisite step in that. And also in the spring, you know, we don't want our zoning code update to lag too far behind this, so we're going to start kicking off that process, getting an RFP out for consultant services. And once we do get to the point where we release a public review EIR draft, there's mandatory public review periods on that. And once we've gotten through all that, gotten comments and made revisions, we can finally start entering the adoption process, which we're hoping to hit by late this year. So that concludes my rapid-fire presentation, and I welcome any questions and comments.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thanks for keeping us appraised. A lot of work into this, and you've done a terrific job. We'll start with my left, Councilmember Rocha.
No questions.
Questions? Okay. Over to my right, Councilmember Osornio, Councilmember Barrera.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Moore, for your report. You know, I always appreciate the community meetings that you and your staff have put together. Are we going to be able to see, you know, sometimes we don't stop and celebrate of what we've done. You know, there's always, oh, well, we haven't done enough, and we always get like that. I would like to start seeing in some of these engagements as we're dealing with our, the people that we're serving, to show pictures, hey, look at this is what we've been accomplishing, because there has been a lot of accomplishments. So I think to some degree, I've been asking for quite some time now, we need to show people, and let's celebrate a little bit. Yeah, you know what, we haven't done enough, of course. A lot of work to be done, yes. But can we stop and say, you know what, look at what we've accomplished? And I think sometimes we don't do that as much as we should. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Barrera. No questions here. We'll go to the public. Any member of the public wishing to comment on this item? Okay, seeing none in the auditorium. Patty?
Any members on Zoom wish to make a comment? No members on Zoom.
Okay, well, we're looking for a motion and some comments. So we'll start with Councilmember Rocha.
Thank you.
There's no action, just comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for all of your hard work.
We do need a motion. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, okay. Clarification.
No worries. Thank you for all of your hard work on this. Thank you to all of your staff in the Community Development Department. It's always really nice to see the amount of dedication and work that you put into this, and it's really appreciated by the community, and it's nice when we have that level of trust and respect amongst each other to where people feel like they want to attend community meetings, want to contribute, and genuinely feel like their voices matter in the decision-making process. And so I want to give you all a shout out. You have created that culture, you have embraced that, and you've really made a difference in our community. So I look forward to continuing to attend the meetings you hold. Yeah, I'm really happy. So is this...
But we need a motion to accept.
Okay. So I'll move the item for acceptance.
Second.
Those are all my comments.
Thank you. Moved and seconded. Councilmember Sanders?
Well, I just want to say thank you for your intentional effort. I mean, the pop-ups I see everywhere, and there's so many opportunities to participate, so I think you've done a really good job with community outreach.
Great, thank you. Go over to Councilmember Osornio. Comments?
Just thank you for the report.
Okay, Councilmember Barrera.
Yeah, you know what, we're living in a vibrant community. As Mr. Moore, as you can see, people are always wanting to be engaged. And because we are hearing the people that we serve, there is positive change. And I think that's great. I do want to thank Ms. Brenton. I want to thank you, Mr. Moore, and Mr. Leonard as well. I mean, you folks do the heavy lifting, and thank you for that work. I hope you choose to stay with us for a while. And but thank you. So anything I can do, buy you take you to Raising Cane, I'll take you wherever you guys want. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a motion and a second. No comments here. Alicia.
Thank you. Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McShane?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item, 24003, as was mentioned earlier in the meeting, has been continued to the January 23rd meeting. So with that, we have the consent agenda. There's 15 items on the consent agenda, and we'll start with the council. Are there any council members that would like to pull anything from the agenda? Go slow if you can. Okay. We'll start with Councilmember Rocha.
Nothing to pull.
Oh, wait, can you say that louder?
I have no items to pull.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you.
For the record.
No items to pull.
Okay. Councilmember Osornio?
I do have an item to pull. It'll be ID 24007. And the 23-714, please.
Thank you. Councilmember Barrera.
Yes, sir, I have 007,
Okay.
010. That's it.
Okay, I'll just comment on the 019. With that, we'll go to the public. Any members of the public wish to pull an item off for public comment? Sure.
714.
714, wait, what was that? 014?
714.
714, thank you. Okay. Anybody else? Sorry, Leo? 005, got it, okay. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? Okay, we'll start with council members. We have two. Oh, thank you very much, City Attorney. Zoom, Patricia?
Anyone on Zoom wish to pull an item from the consent agenda for separate comment? No one on Zoom.
Okay, great. We'll bring it back to council for a motion on the remaining items, which include item 004, 020, 005. Oh, no, because that was pulled by the public, though. Thank you. 006, 008, 009, 011, 012, 013, 021.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Patricia?
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McShane?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll move to item 007 with council first. Is that appropriate? Okay. We'll start with Councilmember Osornio.
Yes. If we can just get an update on the outreach, and then on the no parking street signage, there was a resident that was just wanted to make sure that the no parking was going to be in English and Spanish. I know.
Yeah, we're still working through the process of notifying the public in terms of the no parking on street sweeping days. We have looking at different routes to run with our street sweeper. And so that's actually taking a bit longer than we anticipated to finalize those routes. Basically because we're finding that the drivers are driving without sweeping more than they are sweeping. So we're going back to the consultant saying, hey, no, this isn't right. We need to have efficient street sweeping. And so that's what we're doing right now. And once we finalize those routes and get them to where we want to go, then we'll go out there and notify the public on those routes and get input from them.
And do you have an estimate of how much more time we'll need before this can start?
So we're doing outreach and education throughout 2024. So probably toward the latter end of 2024, we would actually get one of these no parking street sweeping days on the streets.
And then those will be in both Spanish and English?
Street signs aren't required to be in Spanish, so and we have a limited space to put information on the signs, so most likely it's only going to be in English.
No further questions, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Barrera?
Move to approve.
Second.
Great. Moved and seconded. We'll go ahead and call the roll, Patty.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McShane?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item up is ID 010. Councilmember Barrera.
Yes, thank you, Mr. McShane. You know, this has been on our, this is a serious issue we're going through our city. I just wanted to get so the public would know what we're doing here. I don't know whose report this is. But I would just like to see briefly, so the people would hear this this grant award, what we can expect from this.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilmember Barrera. I'm here representing the Housing Division this evening. And this grant, this $8 million really allows us to expand and create a whole second SORT team. The original intention of that SORT team was to focus on challenges with unhoused individuals in the Carr Lake area and doing specific outreach. It's always also allowing us to diversify the services that we provide by partnering with other organizations such as Catholic Charities and Valley Health Associates. And it focuses on the second piece because there's the outreach, but then there's the referral and the connection to services. So that's where the emergency motel program and having a place for those individuals to go as that first step of transition. So this $8 million funds various components of all those services.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem, when we're ready.
Yeah, we're looking for a motion and a
Move to
second.
approve.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Patricia?
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McShane?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, the next item is ID 019. This was an item I pulled, and if I may ask our Assistant Finance Director for just a little bit more information on the firm. Given that we're a public agency, and I know we're down a few staff, would just love to hear more about what positions are vacant currently. I think there might be one in the pipeline or undergoing background, but also what qualifies this firm for what we do. I think what we do is different than, the local small business downtown.
Correct. Thank
Sure.
you
Thanks.
for the question, Councilmember McShane. So what qualifies this firm is that they only consult with people that have experience in government sectors, so anything related to governmental accounting. So we're bringing on people in the capacity of a senior accountant. Previously, we consulted with them because we did not have a director, a finance director, an assistant finance director, quite a few other technical positions. So we actually continue to have some vacancies. We have not filled a senior accountant position, and one was recently vacated on Friday. So we're still down some of that technical expertise that we need to get caught up on all of our daily work, the annual audit and everything else that comes along with that.
Okay, is this a local firm?
I don't believe they're a local firm.
Okay. And will it be in person or via Zoom? Are they relocating?
We actually did interview one individual, and they will be in person every day.
Got it, understood. If I may just ask the city manager, so can you just do your best to recap, what are we missing in the finance department approximately? Just, I know that we're rebuilding there, and what's the status of the director of finance search?
Thank you, Councilmember McShane. And Ms. Andrews showed us some of the positions that are open, and rather, I won't list them specifically because finance also includes the world of information technology and IT.
Yes, sir.
And but I commend the finance staff. They have filled the gaps better than Band-Aids. We are making progress. The finance director position is being refreshed and out again by the Human Resources Department, and so I'm hopeful that this time we'll find someone. So we do have challenges throughout the organization, finance included, but every department has a challenge in terms of staffing, and we're working through it. I think that everyone who's an incumbent employee in this city, whether it's a police officer or a firefighter, or staff in finance and everyone else are doing their best to keeping us moving forward.
Understood, thank you. Okay, I'll move the item. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Patricia?
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McShane?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, we'll continue with the council, and I believe our last item for the council is item 714, and that was Councilmember Osornio.
Yeah, so I wanted to just pull this out for a separate vote, but I was wondering if City Attorney, if we can just a short recap on the work that you and your department have done on this.
Sure, Councilmember Osornio. So what this ordinance is codifying what exists in state law into your municipal code, and it allows the city to take legal action against property owners who are allowing their properties to be used for prostitution purposes. And so if there's evidence that that exists, then the city can take action to try and seek an injunction to prevent that property from being used for prostitution activities.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And again, I just wanted it to be just a little bit of a recap, because while we've been up here speaking about what can be done, especially in the Kern, the King, Madera, Roosevelt area, I know that this is just another step in the right direction. So I just want to commend city staff, city manager, Pia, for really coming up with a solution to be able to help in combating this. I know it's not it's not going to be the solution that makes this go away, but I just want to just commend your department on being creative and quickly. So I'd just like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. We'll go ahead and call the roll. Patty?
We have a member of the public that wishes to comment on
Is there
this
also
item.
that? Okay, sorry, we'll hold. Oh, I thought that was 210. Okay, thank you. We'll
Mr.
we'll hear from Eric. Was it 210? It was this one, okay.
Good evening. Name is Eric Peterson, and it was good to see in the report that this was referred to as one of the tools available for this situation. And I've mentioned before my two friends who are both former prostitutes, and I don't know if I ever got quite detailed about how much they both disliked it. They didn't do it because it was a good job opportunity. They did it because it was better than the alternative. In one case, homelessness in a climate a lot worse than ours. And this is a social problem in addition to being a police problem. From a police aspect, in many ways, it's a square peg in a round hole. And while our square peg, our police department may be a good square peg, it is still a square peg. And there may be women out there, there are probably women out there who are like my friends and needed things like job training or other things that would be provided by Monterey County or other agencies, and would relish the opportunity to get out of that particular line of work that they're in. As I say, my friends didn't like it, and I'm not going to get into some of the stories I've been told, but they didn't do it. They did it by choice because the alternatives were even worse. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Patty, will you call the roll?
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McShane?
Yeah.
Motion passes.
Okay, ID 699, in case anyone missed it, is being continued to next meeting. So with that, we'll go to council members' reports, appointments, and future.
We got to go up. 005, Celebrate Software, member of the public, Mr. De La Rosa.
Oh, boy, I'm sure organized tonight. Leo De La Rosa, thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you.
My name is Leo De La Rosa. Can someone explain what this Celebrate software is and what does it really do? And does that create any jobs for the city or eliminate positions? And how is it going to benefit the city?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. De La Rosa. I just conferred with the city manager, and someone on staff will report to you immediately after the meeting. Thank you. Okay, we will now move to Councilmember. We do, sorry. Okay, we'll take a motion and a second.
To approve.
Motion made by Councilmember Barrera and second by Osornio.
Thank you. Go ahead and call roll.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem McShane?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, so now we're at council members' reports, appointments, and future agenda items. So we'll start to my left with Councilmember Rocha.
Thank you. I have a short list to report today, but want to report back to the council that I attended the Salinas Valley Recycles Executive Committee meeting this past week with Vice President Ben Jimenez, and looking forward to our board meeting coming up, I believe, next week. I attended the Finance Committee meeting today at 2 p.m. with Councilmember Osornio, and on Thursday, I'll be attending the Salinas Valley Basin Groundwater Sustainability Agency Board meeting here at 3 p.m. on Thursday. That's all I have to report.
Thank you. Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes, I also attended Salinas Valley Solid Waste Board Retreat, which reminds me, City Manager, of a previous request that we have a reconvene our check-in with our strategic planners. It was a great meeting. I looked forward to this year. That's all I have to report.
Thank you. We'll go over to Councilmember Barrera, or Osornio.
Yeah, let's see. Just wanted to thank Angie Ramos for hosting the SUBA, the Chamber, and Monterey County Business Council. They had the first SUBA mixer at her pizza place on Acosta Plaza, and just wanted to say, tell everybody thank you for going out to that. It's really great to see the collaboration. And then also, there definitely is some great things coming out of the Northridge Mall with their the folks that they have there that are going to be doing a lot of marketing and organizing for community events. The Tres Reyes Magos was a great event that they helped put together, where there was camel rides and hot chocolate and bread and things like that for people that were in attendance. Completely free event, and it's a great way to get people in the door. So thank you, and that's all I got.
Thank you. Councilmember Barrera.
Yes, thank you. Yesterday, I attended the Monterey Salinas Transit Board Annual Retreat. Right now, MST is really looking at going all electric on our MST buses. It's something very, very serious. I mean, these buses are super expensive. And you know, there's a lot of issues going around with these electric batteries, but MST is doing the best. You know, we've been challenged by the state that we have to go electric, so we're working on that. Also, I want to thank MV, which is contracts with MST, Monterey Salinas Transit. There's a lot of people that do not have transportation either to go to hospitals, or I'm talking about veterans, seniors, and people with physical disabilities. MST is doing a wonderful job on getting people to where they need to go. So sometimes we may look at these buses as what exactly is it that they do. Did you know that if a child or someone's in danger and or they run away and they see an MST bus, they can run to this bus, and it becomes a shelter, an emergency shelter for them. And it's a place where they can feel safe, which is fantastic. And just one, was my 2 minutes up? And just one last thing, we're talking about, you know, because there's a lot of mental illness and drug addiction, we're talking about how we're going to supply the buses with some kind of safety, medical safety, where in case somebody goes through any serious situation, how we can help them. So when you do get on the bus, hopefully some of you ride the bus. You know, some of those bus operators, not only are they getting people to where they need to go, but they also become social workers. There's a lot of things that they're doing, which is tremendous. And I want to thank this board for supporting MST, and I think we're doing some good work. Thank you.
Thank you for your service, Councilmember.
Yes.
Just going through a few things. I'm appointing Greg Hammer to the Traffic and Transportation Commission. I think it's already happened. But just letting everybody know, there is a marauding group of bicycle riders parading through the farmers market that's becoming disruptive. I want to thank Commander Murray for his work on that, signage, intervention, peaceful work there, but it's been problematic because there's a lot of walking and a lot of crowds. Gosh, there's one constituent that's really hot for potholes and having to go back and repair potholes again. I've sent him Jim Pia's way. The same constituent's equally enthusiastic about Church Street and Lincoln and the flow of traffic and whether parking citations can be handed out. So thank you, Mr. Pia, for handling that. Yeah, just a couple of other things. In the last 3 to 4 days, man, my phone is ringing off the hook with nonviolent crime. The first one was optometrist on Romy. 10th incident in 2 years where they came in through the skylight this time. So just nonviolent crimes on the rise. I heard a rumor we've only got 6 officers at any given time at best. Maybe it's like 8. I don't know, somewhere in that range, mandatory call-ins and all that. I know we're aware of it, but it's showing up. Mission Linen reports they're ready to move out of town. They changed their gas caps, and it was one thing to siphon gas. Now folks are going under the trucks, severing the lines, and you get the rest of that. More than $30,000 has been spent in the last 5 months. And then stolen vehicle. That's in Councilmember Osornio's district. I'll be sending him that way, over in the Rico Rossi area. Holiday home lighting tour that happened at the end of last month. There were dozens of beautifully decorated homes. I want to thank Steinbeck Real Estate. I want to thank the Santa Lucia Rotary Club and the City of Salinas. Councilmember Rocha, you did it again with 856 Lexington, the one most beautiful home. And it truly is the candy cane lane. And they know you and love you, and they're like, bring it. So that's just such a great event. I'll be here co-hosting the MLK March at 10 a.m. on Monday. Come on out. There'll be lots to remember and celebrate. 31st Grill, I know Councilmember Osornio's been there. I was there today. I think, in fact, we ran into one another. It is epic. Eddie Estrada is a local success story. He's grown his business, and it's the finest ingredients. So see you there. With that, I think we're ready to adjourn, and it is hot. Kimberly's watching. I just want to say 6:08, and indeed we did lose a giant with Jeff Lamb, and I want to thank you for that reminder. We will adjourn and take a moment of silence to honor Jeff Lamb. Thank you very much for attending tonight. We'll see you on the 23rd. We stand adjourned.